Hello, everybody. Tim here for a movie review for Dunkirk. Dunkirk is the new film directed by Christopher Nolan, who, of course, directed the Dark Knight trilogy and then other films like Memento, Insomnia, The Prestige, Interstellar, Inception. He's just got a great track record, and this is the first time he's tackling war in so World War II specifically. So I was really looking forward to this one because even Christopher Nolan's movies that are pretty divisive, which I would say would be like Interstellar or The Dark Knight Rises, I still like those movies. Like I'm a big Christopher Nolan defender. I would say other than um like Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, there's no movie of his that I love. Like I think Memento's great. I think Insomnia's great. Inception's great. I think Interstellar's great. I think The Prestige. Actually, I would say I love The Prestige, but those few I love. But I enjoy all of his movies. I am always entertained. He always creates beautiful movies to look at. And that's exactly what this movie is. It's gorgeous to look at. It's got great war action in it. But other than that, that's about it. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So the movie runs at about an hour and 45 minutes. And from the first minute, you are in this war. You're in it with the characters who we'll get to momentarily, but you're in it. You feel like you're part of it, which is a big, big compliment to the film. Is that you're very tense. You are along for the ride, which was great. All of the visual effects were outstanding. The dog fights with the fighter pilots were incredible. All of the scenery and just the cinematography in general was great. And then another amazing thing about this movie is Hans Zimmer's score. Hans Zimmer's score here is just incredible. Honestly, it's probably my favorite part about the movie. I was constantly listening and picking up on things he was doing with the score, and I thought it was great. Um, and the only reason this movie isn't like to the point where I'm like, I love this movie is because of the characters. And this is the common complaint that I've been hearing is that the characters are just meh. They're really nothing. Like they're there to kind of guide us along, but in the end, they don't really do a whole heck of a lot to get you super invested in them. I'd say the person I was invested in the most was Tom Hardy, who plays one of the fighter pilots. But I was invested in him because it was Tom Hardy, not because it was the character. Um, and that's a detriment to the film. It is. I think that had there been stronger characters, I would have liked this movie even more. And I'm not saying I know how to make those characters better because I don't. I'm not an incredible filmmaker like Christopher Nolan, but that's my personal opinion. I feel like had I known more about the characters or been able to get a little more invested in them, I would have liked the overall product just a little bit more. It would have pushed me to that love. Um, that all being said, though, all the performances are good. Kenneth Branagh's in the movie, Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, like I said, even the One Direction boy, Harry Styles, all the performances are really top notch, um, great performances. They just were characters that I didn't care about, which is unfortunate because Nolan's usually really good at writing great characters. Um, but I think Nolan's focus here wasn't on the characters. I think he wanted to focus on the war and what it was doing to the characters, and that came across perfectly. And if that was his intention, then he did a great job. Like I said, this movie is the shortest Nolan film. It runs at about an hour, 45, 47 minutes. Um, and you can't tell. It's just it goes by, it chugs along, it you're never leaving this war scene that you're playing out throughout the movie, which worked for me. And the other thing about that I loved was the movie split into about three sections. There's the fighter pilots, there's all the people on the beach, and then there's the people from the land, from home, coming to save the people on the beach. And the beach people, their story takes place across a week, and the fighter pilot across an hour of one day in that week. And then the people coming to save them one day in that week, and they all are flowing at the same time. And it at first, when I realized what was happening, I was like, oh, I don't know. But as it went on, it really did help bring the story together. So anyway, guys, I enjoyed Dunkirk. I did not love it, but I do think it is a good movie. I think you should definitely go out and see it. We actually saw it in 70 millimeter, which I enjoyed because I'm a film nerd like that. But if you have a chance to see this on any screen, just I would say just to see it in the theater, it is worth seeing in the theater. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, guys, so those are my thoughts on Dunkirk. If you liked what I had to say about it, or even if you didn't like what I had to say about it, still hit that like button, hit subscribe. Check out some of my other reviews. What came out? We've got reviews for Spider-Man yet, and then what the heck came out last week? I don't remember. War for the Planet of the Apes, of course, my favorite movie of the year. So we'll put a review up for that as well. I also got to see Atomic Blonde early. We'll throw that one up as well. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a good one.